Hello, everybody. We are coming back to this oil painting of cherries using solvent-free oil painting. Welcome to Art Prof. We are a global art party. Here's where I am with the piece at the moment. I'm going to be working on the lower right-hand corner, and I also hope that some of you will be painting along with me or making stuff, whatever it is you want to be working on. And you can all see here in the Discord, this is under the Art Alongs channel. You can see I've got Buddy here keeping me company. I did clean my studio this week. And check this out, you guys. These are two mixtures that I had from the last cherry painting, and they're still wet. I think it had to have been at least a couple weeks ago, but this was cadmium yellow and cadmium red. And so you can see these are two colors that I can still use today. That's the magic of oil painting. And I also posted up here, really clean my brushes. This time I actually use Gamsol instead of the safflower oil because it just cleans the brushes so much better. I'm going to be using the safflower oil while I'm painting, so that way I can use the Gamsol outdoors where I don't have to get some of those fumes. But hope you guys will post stuff in here because I love giving you a shout out on the stream. Okay, well, let's get into it. Let me get everything positioned. This is the spot. Oh, Bud, what do you want? He wants to go out. Okay, hang on a second. Yes, I know, sweetie. Hang on. Come on, you can go out. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. I guess Buddy did not care for the vibe in my studio. Tell me in the comments, what have you been up to this week? What supplies are you doing? And feel free, again, to share in the Discord what everybody is working on, and I'll give you a shout out. This is Art Guard from Winsor & Newton. It's basically a barrier cream, and I'm putting it on just so that way there is a coating that's in between my hands and the actual oil paint. It just makes it so much easier to clean later on. Counselor Chip, you've got 3 dogs. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I guess we need to talk about pets now. Tell me who your pets are, everybody, because we have 3 guinea pigs, an axolotl, and we also have Buddy. Mostly it's this shape is really bothering me because these edges are all very sharp. I'm going to need to soften that up. And in case you missed it, this painting is from 3 different reference photos that I've combined. The one that I'm really going to spend time with is the reference photo in the upper left-hand corner. I'm just going to spend some time squinting, trying to make a little bit more of a plan. There is something really bright here, but I don't think I want it that bright. I think I'm going to keep it that tone. I got to figure out, I never put the branches back here, but I don't need to paint all of them. I definitely need a color change. This one needs a lot of yellow. This one's way too orange. And these other ones don't really have the sense of light that I want them to have. I'm going to try, I don't know if I should do a glaze or not. It's always really hard to come back to a piece after you've been away for a long time. Maybe I'll start out, well, you know something? I already have these two colors mixed, so maybe this is what I start with. I think I'm going to do quite a bit of alizarin crimson, so I'm going to take this alizarin crimson and I'm going to mix it into this red. It's kind of nice when you have colors that are already ready to go. It's kind of light though. Maybe I should just do straight alizarin crimson. Let me see. I just need to get back into it. That's the thing. It's just been so long. And this is my solvent-free fluid. This is made by Gamblin. I'm going to just try a little bit this tone. I want to hear about pets and art supplies, everybody. We could talk about that stuff all day. And as far as pets go, tell me one of your pet's habits. Buddy really likes to sit right outside my office. And he likes to have his body pressed up against a wall. I don't know why. Yeah, this area got so dark last time I was working. I really don't have much dimension here. I don't want to lose that value, but I also don't want it to take over so much. And yes, I did cheat a little bit in terms of the colors. Here I'm trying to just separate the two because I think before they didn't look great. Actually, this one I'm going to bring down lower because I think it would look better so that it's more separate from the other one. That's better. I'm also going to do just some straight alizarin crimson, maybe a little touch of ultramarine. It's pretty dark, this color that I just mixed, because I don't want this to get flat, this cherry that's in the back. I will say, out of all the painting marathon pieces, this is definitely my favorite one. This is the one I really, really want to finish. Just popping in some value. Again, this is just ultramarine with alizarin crimson. We're just giving these a little more dimension than they had before. There's actually a lot of blue back here. I really should work on that. Okay, now I'm going to take a rag. I'm going to go in and smudge some of that in. Today's all about soft edges. My rag is very, very good at making that happen. It's so nice when you have a really solid foundation. It's like it doesn't take that much work to do things. Now this one's very, very yellow. Yeah, I think I need to mix. Well, actually, look, I've got it. I don't need to mix it. That's awesome. I love that these are just so slow to dry. I've also decided today I'm going to be a lot better about keeping my brushes organized because, you know something, I didn't do it last time and I just ended up with this horrible pile of rags that was extremely painful. I had to go in and organize them, and some of them were squished, and ugh. See, that's the type of thing I usually, why I don't like to paint with oils most of the time. It's just a lot of work to do all that housekeeping. Let's add some of this brighter orange up here. It's probably too orange. You know something? I'm going to switch to cadmium yellow. I think this orange is just too bright. But I'll add a little touch of orange in there. So tell me in the comments who here is working with me. How many people here are plopped on a couch or a soft surface? Are you eating dinner? What are you up to, everybody? Let us know. Yeah, these cherries need so much more dimension, and I'm just not, didn't make it happen last time. I know it sounds crazy, even though this is, what, my 6th stream on this? I still don't feel like it's close. Like the tree painting, I think that one actually is kind of close to being finished. But this one and the mill portrait that I did, definitely not. Trying to distribute these colors in more different places. It's like the cherries are very flat right now. Like they don't have a huge amount of variation. So I'm trying to go in and just have more tones available. There's so much blue. I'm actually very excited to put some of that blue in. Yeah, there's a giant chunk of highlight here. It probably needs to be a little bit lighter, but already you can see that adding these colors is just so much more dimension. That's really what it is you just need a lot of different colors. That's really what makes things have depth. Actually, tell me in the comments, because a couple of people have been telling me this. A lot of people will say to me, well, I feel like my paintings are very cartoony, or they'll say the same thing about their drawings. And I wonder if the cartoony thing actually means flat. Is that how you guys define cartoony, or is it something else? I'm just very curious, because I've had several people say that to me, and I just want to make sure I can maybe understand better what people are wanting to do with the work. Actually, quite a bit of orange in this one. I feel like I didn't add it. Oops, whoa, that was way too much. I'm just cleaning my brush with a rag. Sometimes it's easier if I don't need to like totally change it. And actually this one I am gonna go in with a rag because it's way too bright. Oh, I might actually just get rid of that. So here's my silica oil tank. This has the safflower oil in it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my rag and dip a little bit of it into the safflower oil, so that way I can get rid of this blob of orange that looks terrible. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Okay, everybody, let's come back and chat about what's happening in your lives, because I feel like I get to hear the most extraordinary stories because of how diverse our audience is. Jen, you had 7 dogs? Wow. Aliska has 2 free roam rabbits. Randy has a joke. Is your axolotl a detective? No, but he is a genetically modified organism, which is why his name is Gmo. We got him from the nature lab at RISD. George has 3 Bernese mountain dogs. One is expecting? Oh my gosh. Blue Wren, 4 cats, 4 dogs, some Moed, Border Collie, 2 Jack Russell, and 2 goats. That's so fun. See, I don't think I could ever take care of that many animals. That's the thing. Tom says, using linseed oil after ignoring it for like a year. Love the gel-like texture. You know, I'm still very curious about the solvent-free gel that Gamblin makes. I just like the idea of gel. It just sounds like really satisfying for some reason. Manette, dog carrot, currently snoring. So funny. Jen is on the couch. Awesome. Parvy says, liking the brush strokes on those edges. Well, we'll see what happens when I add those highlights. The highlights make everything so complicated. But I'm a soft edge person now. And in retrospect, I think that was my biggest issue when it came to painting before, is that my edges were all really harsh and they made everything look flat. And I also think I didn't have as much color variation. For example, if I was painting a red vest, I felt like I would just add red and darker red, and I was not very adventurous about adding other colors. Today, if I was painting a red vest, I probably would add some Viridian, which is a bluish green, in for some of the shadows. And I think back then, I probably would have just added brown, which is not as interesting. Shorty Angel, you're budgeting? Oh gosh, that doesn't sound very fun. Hopefully we can make it a little bit less painful. Okay, Selena's plopped on the couch and working on crappy sketchbooks. Randy's asking, do you happen to have a Winsor Newton Series 7 sable brush? I read this book that sang its praises. I have not, but I bet you anything somebody in here has used it or has used something somewhat similar. I can tell you guys, I don't have any brush allegiance to any type of brand. I just go and I buy things. Kathy Speranza did give me some suggestions. She was saying synthetic brushes were what she wanted to try, and I tried those because I never really used really soft, really smooth brushes before. Okay, so Jen says cartoony as overly round. And Parvy says associate with exaggerated features. We also have Whimsy Squirrel here, obsessed with acrylic markers. Well, they are really fun. Expensive, but very fun. But it's always the fun stuff that's expensive. Slate says, you have a mining living in your house. We named her Allie McSqueal. That's hilarious. Slepneer says, cartoony describes something resembling or characteristic of a cartoon, often featuring exaggerated or simplified features, brightly colored elements, and a generally unrealistic or playful style. Well, thank you so much for a comprehensive look at that, because there's so many ways people can make cartoons, but specifically I've been looking about how people say they don't want their paintings, fine art paintings, to look like a cartoon. Wait, Salinas, you have a Great Pyrenees? That's what Buddy is. Except he's mixed a little bit with a Border Collie. And there's something else that he has a mix of, and I totally cannot remember. Jen is asking, isn't that Series 7 one crazy expensive? Oh, I don't know, but I think in general, everybody, aren't sable brushes more expensive? Okay, so Parvy is confirming Series 7 is crazy expensive. Yeah, the higher the series goes, that's usually the reflection of what that is. Okay, let's get back into this. I'm going to try my best to remember that I change my positioning of my mic. If I forget, just let me know. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to add some of those blue highlights because I feel like that's a color change, which is pretty important. Okay, let's mix up. Oh, I forgot to take a photo for the Discord. That way you guys can see the progress. And also you'll be able to see things up close, which I find very handy. And then on the next round, I will be checking the Discord. Gosh, oil paintings are such a pain in the butt to photograph. It's like so much glare. Okay, and also get a shot in the Discord of, so basically if you guys look here in Arlong's, I'm just posting there and would love to see you guys do the same thing. Yeah, pet pictures, I want to see them in the Discord. That is always so lovely to see that. Okay, now got to clean my palette knife. I've been talking to people about oil painting, and while it is a lot of work, it is just so beautiful. I think it was Coffee in Art Club was having some hesitations about oil painting because it is expensive and takes time to learn, but I believe Coffee caved and eventually did pick up some oils. Tell me in the comments, how many of you here have been thinking about oil painting? How many of you who here have zero interest and never ever want to go near oils? Okay, so that's a nice sort of darkish, well, actually, I'm going to add a little bit of orange into it because I don't want it to be super saturated. So this just tones it down. Actually, that looks really green. Add a little red to offset that. Ugh, that is too green. Okay, I guess we're going back in with some cerulean. It really takes a while. That's probably okay. Okay, that doesn't look so green. It was looking too green before. Because oils are amazing, but first of all, you have to have the budget to be able to buy the supplies. Like the first time you buy oil supplies from scratch, oh gosh, it's traumatic. It's really hard on your budget. Oh, weird. Oh, weird. Look at that blue. I don't know if I like it, but I'm going to keep going. And I'm not using any medium right now because I really want the color to sit. I'm going to add some of this darker blue, and then I'm going to have like a really light blue, but there's a lot. Interesting. That blue really changes the way you look at everything, doesn't it? But I see so much blue. It's weird how blue this looks to me. And I know the blue looks ridiculous right now, but I have a plan, everybody. You know, I'm going to put some blue here, even though there is no blue, because I want the blue to be distributed. I don't want it to be stuck in one place. That's really important. I think anytime you introduce a new color, you need to have that distribution. Because if you add a color and it's just in one spot, that can make your life really difficult. Unnecessarily difficult. This is probably very teal looking. I don't think I like that, but I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, so there we have some blue. Tell me in the comments, do you like the blue or does it seem ridiculous? Either answer is fine. I'm going to put this into the Discord so people can see what that's looking like up close. Okay, and now we're going to mix a really light blue. In fact, I'm just going to take some of this white. It already has blue in it. I'm going to scrape down here so I can have a little bit more mixing space. And we're just going to put some white with a little touch of blue. I don't need very much of it. It's in such tiny quantities. Okay, let's put that back. And this time, I'm just going to wipe the brush. Like oftentimes, if you are not doing a serious change, this is enough. You don't always have to clean the brushes 100%. Okay, now we're going to really add highlights. No medium again, everybody. There's so many. I feel like there's highlights everywhere I look. Probably what's going to happen is things are going to get way too bright, and then I'll have to darken everything again. Oh, it looks really green there. Oh, well, whatever. I'll fix it later. Yeah, and tell me in the comments, if you guys don't paint with oils, do you paint? Or do you do other things? It's funny, I forget how much of my life when I was younger was spent painting because I don't really do it that much. I do it for here, but it's not quite the same thing. Yeah, they look really weird. They look like polka dot cherries. It's sort of like what I did last time where I just was adding dots everywhere. And it looks a little dumb for a while, but it won't stay that way. A lot of being an artist is you have to be willing to sit with your piece looking pretty bad for a while. This one I'm going to really pump up. Really build the white. Okay, that's a pretty good pass. Let me take a look at some comments and the Discord, and then we'll start doing some blending, everybody. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys. Well, so the color mixtures I'm doing today, they're really not very exciting. I'm being pretty conservative about what I'm mixing. But that's okay. I'm not here to do anything super wild, at least at the moment. Okay. We're going to come back. Neil says they look like metal balls. Oh, they are very shiny. Yeah, Counselor Chip, I think that's amazing that you tried Jumchi. I don't know if anybody saw that video we made on Jumchi, but I saw it at the Southern Graphics Council conference. It's the one where he's like really squishing paper for a long period of time. And Counselor Chip got amazing results that we saw in the Discord. So that was very, very exciting. Okay, well, let's look at what's happening in the Discord. And if you're not in Discord, what can we say, everybody, to convince you to get in there? Because I know for some people, Discord is brand new. Some people feel very intimidated by it, but let's try to convince you guys who are holding out, because you know something? Most of my time interacting with people is in the Discord. Certainly we have other things, like, for example, I did recently bring back our Facebook group, but Discord is where it's at. That's where we have most of our content easily available. Oh, Salinas is continuing with these sketchbooks of trees. I remember I saw these at the last voice chat at Art Club. It's always so fun to see how people keep progressing. So here you guys can see a little bit better up close. Those are the colors. They're a little bit easier to see in the Discord. Randy has a random assortment of supplies you randomly choose from. Awesome. Yeah, I have just buckets, Randy. There are writing utensils in here. That's about as specific as it gets. Oh, Manette included an extra cat photo so you can see Max in all his glory. Oh, they're so squishy. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Everybody see that lighting? See the cast shadow? Look at these little bits of highlight. Okay, so Manette, your cats are now a lesson in lighting for artists. Okay, so Randy, some random scribbles. Sometimes random scribbles are exactly what we need to get back into things. I think if we think too hard, sometimes it inhibits us. Manette is doing thumbnails for the Art Dare, which, by the way, is trolls, elves, gnomes, and fairies. And by the way, if you guys didn't know this, there is an Art Dares channel in here. And we just have so much fun seeing what people are doing throughout the month. For example, Uma has done a sleeping capybara being covered up by gnomes and fairy with garden ferns and flowers. This is such a great scene, Uma. So come do the Art Dare. You can see people are so lovely and supportive. Lisa is doing a troll. Oh God, that is a house. I don't know that I want to live there, but that's really great. I love that narrative. Okay. Oh, I didn't show the thumbnails that Manette did. Textured 3D-ish elements. Tunnel books. Oh, look at that. Does everyone see that? How many here know what a tunnel book is? It's a 3D book, and it's like you pull it out and you can see way, way back. Oh, what a cool format that's going to be, Manette. Parvy. Oh, so squishy. Oh my gosh, such pretty colors. Yeah, keep them coming. Those cat photos. I don't have a cat. Bookworm, domestic long hair beauty. Oh, she looks so comfortable. Oh my God, what is that fish thing? Is that like a little nest for her? That's adorable. Now I really want that. Okay, so Anna's posting some oil paintings. I think these are new, Anna. I don't feel like I've seen some of these before. Great to see these up close. Oh, I love that red in the lower left-hand corner. Oh, he's your Great Pyrenees mix. Oh, I see it. Yeah, Buddy's different. Like, he's a Great Pyrenees, but his coloring and patterns are all very different. We've got Kahlo here from Anna. Oh, this is fantastic. Marta. You guys didn't know this was going to be a pet stream. Oh my gosh, look at that. They're really waiting for something. Scylla says, just discovered wonders of Indian yellow and Hansa yellow. Exciting. You know something? I haven't used Hansa yellow before. Who here has? I have used Indian yellow, but actually it's not a color I spend a huge amount of time with, even though I talk about it being cool. I guess I should just start using it. But tell me in the comments, have you used Hansa yellow? And tell me, what are your favorite yellows? For me, definitely Naples yellow. Can't live without that color. This is from Rats with Shivs. Anyone have advice for how to take better photos, or are they good? The photos are good in that they're very clean, Rats, but the thing that I would recommend is getting better lighting, because we don't really see the contrast of things. So if you had a light that was nice and soft and bright, that would probably be the thing that I would recommend for that image. Cool. Okay, let's see what else is happening in the chat. Neil is asking, what cool yellow do I use, Prof? Cadmium lemon? Cadmium lemon is excellent. It's a very cool, pale yellow, but it's still got a nice punch to it. I highly recommend cadmium yellow. And a reminder to everybody, if you have a question for me, type it in all caps, so that way I don't miss your question. And if I do, you can always feel free to post it again, or you guys can also post things in the Discord if you want to ask me stuff over there. Oh, Shorty Angel, I didn't know you were Bookworm. It's so funny. People have different names across the platforms, and so I don't always know who is who. But the fish head is her sleep cubby. I want one for my guinea pigs, but a lot smaller. It's really, really cute. Dead Hermes says, Discord is very nerve-wracking when you've got social issues. Oh, I absolutely understand that. I know that any community that you decide to enter, that it can be challenging to feel comfortable. One of the things that I remind people is that you don't have to participate right away. In fact, I tell a lot of people that when you first join, a more helpful thing is to just lurk. Just read the comments and see what people are talking about. I think there's a lot of value in that. So you could join our Discord, never say a word, and I think you would still get a lot out of it, because people post so much great information about art supplies, about videos that have helped them. So I understand that it's not easy for everybody, but I would love to see you guys over there. Yes, it is a party. And because we have people from all over the world, it's always a party. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and see this like flood of stuff that people have been doing while I was asleep. And I love that we have people from everywhere. Minette says, anyone else sometimes feel guilty when you don't use a certain medium for a while? I always feel slightly guilty when I don't paint with watercolor for a few weeks, especially if I'm using other materials instead. I guess I don't. Well, I'm curious, do other people feel that maybe your watercolors are feeling a little neglected because you're spending all your time with your solvent-free oil paints? I generally don't, because I always think, well, I'll find another reason, because I'm the type of person, I will have something I want to do and I'll pick the medium. I'm not somebody who is, let's say, full-time watercolor artist like some people are. So it really depends. We also have Harvey's asking, will you be adding any transitional blues? If you can maybe explain a little bit better what you mean by that, I'm happy to answer. If you're talking about, I guess, making the edges less pronounced, yes, eventually. But right now it's more a matter of I got to just put the blue there so I know there is blue there. That's an important thing at this point. Aliska says, I have Discord for the sole purpose of these streams. Yeah, I mean, our Discord has a lot of stuff in there. I know it's overwhelming for a lot of people, but my whole concept about using the Discord is to make everything one-stop shopping. So you're not having to use 18 different things to do things. I mean, mostly it's like Discord to YouTube. Like, that's the strongest connection that we have, even though we are on many other platforms. Lisa says, everyone is very nice and gives great feedback in the Discord. I looked forever and now I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to go in there and know everything overnight. Nobody does. But the important thing is if you join our Discord and you're confused, come in and ask for help. Just say, I'm new here. I don't know my way around. Can somebody help me? Or if you're saying, well, I heard there's a show and tell channel where you can share your work. I don't know how to find that. We're here to help you. And the main thing, I think, is sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking to ask for help. How many people here have felt that before? That maybe you join a community and, oh, you're supposed to know how it works. You're supposed to know these things. Like, no. Like, we have people asking us so many questions throughout the day. We expect that. And we want you to ask those questions because we don't want you to come into the Discord and feel like, oh, God, I don't know what to do. It's okay if you don't know what to do. Just tell us. Say, I don't know what to do. And we'll come in and help you guys with that. So O has been thinking about oil painting. Fear, I just don't have the space for it. Only have a small 1-bedroom apartment. You don't have to paint that big. Oils do not work better on a big scale. And certainly if you get a small palette, you can totally make it happen. I mean, I know it's going to be obviously a little bit of a tight fit, but you can certainly do it. Sennelier has been thinking about oils, both regular and water soluble. I'm not as much into the water soluble ones. I just felt like the paint wasn't as good. People told me that Cobra was a lot better than the Winsor & Newton ones. I did try the Cobra ones and they're creamier, but they still don't have the like robust quality and density of oils that I liked, but they are a great option for people who don't want to deal with solvents or anything like that. Jen says, just started oil painting. It's so nice to paint with. I know there's something about, do people here know what I'm talking about? Those of you who are oil paintings, it just like feels good. I can't explain it. It's very vague, but it just feels good in my brush. Counselor Chip says, I don't personify my paints, but my table saw misses me. That's really funny. Okay, well, Counselor Chip, maybe you're explaining the problem. I work with men. We are notorious for not asking for help. Well, I'm giving all of you permission. Go into Discord, ask questions, tell us you're lost. We are happy to help you guys with that. Yeah, like things like this. Luminous is bringing up, you can go to the browse channels, you can select only the channels you want to interact with. So that's also a good thing. And you guys can ask us in the Discord, how do you do that? And we'll give you plenty of instructions. Okay, let's get back into this. I feel like I'm doing the same brush stroke over and over. I'm actually going to take some of the darker blue. Ugh, that looks bad. Actually, I changed my mind. Okay, I think I need some maybe light yellow highlights to accompany the blue. So we have a cool blue highlight, and I also want to have a warm highlight. And so again, that's just going to be some white. Maybe I'll do yellow ochre, because I don't think I want it super bright. Let's see if this is better. Because normally I think about using the cadmium yellow. Although technically in this Michael Harding set, it's called Yellow Lake. But it basically is cadmium yellow. Okay. No medium, you guys. Just straight paint. Tell me in the comments, by the way, who are some artists you've all been looking at this week? I was teaching an Impressionist painting workshop this week, and somebody brought up Bernie Fuchs. Am I saying that right? Anyway, I hope it's Bernie. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. But he's an illustrator and just did the most beautiful depictions of light. I did post one in our YouTube community tab. So if you guys didn't see that, he's a great artist for you guys to look up if you're interested. I don't think I like this color. It's a little bit too peach. Maybe I should turn it into like a pink, like a light pink highlight. I feel like that would be better. I don't really like that peach color. Okay, let's try something else. In fact, I'm going to take away some of this stuff. Yeah, I think the pink will be better. But yeah, I hadn't thought about Bernie Fuchs for a long time. So it's always nice when you get that reminder, artist that you haven't thought about for a long time. And you know something, it just sort of bums me out because there's so many just great artists, more than we'll ever be able to get to know. And sometimes it just feels like it's the same 10 artists that are showing in galleries and museums, and it sort of bums me out. Does anybody else feel that way? I don't know if this is just my perception, but it really does feel like it's this like rotation of 10 artists that we just see everywhere. And I just feel like when I see another Picasso show, I'm like, great, another Picasso show. Yay, we need another Picasso show. I mean, I guess it's the reason why people do things in movies. Like, people like to have franchises that are well established because you know people will come out to see it, but it does come at the expense of a lot of artists and movies that just will never get the visibility. So it kind of bums me out. Okay, it looks like Polka Dot City. It looks really stupid. Okay, I think I want to, well, here's the thing. This one in the photo is actually very dark, but I really feel like I painted it in front. So I'm actually going to let this one get nice and bright. Oh, and I didn't work on this edge. I said I was going to work on, maybe I'll try like a alizarin crimson glaze here. Okay, so this I am going to use the oil medium. Or actually, you know what would be better? Maybe if I mix some green. Maybe if I mix a dark green. Yeah, let's do that. Try dark green. I'm going to use ultramarine plus some yellow ochre. I think that'll give me something that will make that edge come across better. Okay, so that's like a very dark, muddy green. This is yellow ochre and ultramarine blue. It's very muddy. And I think I'm going to mix a little bit of alizarin crimson into it. Okay, so now I added some alizarin crimson, and it's a little bit less muddy. It's a little bit more brilliant. So this I'm going to use, see if we can soften up some of those edges that are next to, ooh, oh my God, what? There's like red all over my brush, yuck. I think I need another brush. really trying to keep things better organized today. I don't know that I'm having a lot of success. Okay, we're going to try that dark green now. I know, very hideous. Ooh, I kind of like that glaze effect, though. Ooh, I like that, you guys. Oh, nice. Oh, I like that. Oh, good, good, good. Yes, yes. That is the transition I want. You know what I'm going to do, everybody? I'm going to zoom way in. I finally got my kid to give back the zoom lens. So let's zoom all the way in, and hopefully that'll make it easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm putting down too much of it. And I do need to go back in and add some of that ultramarine back. So actually, I need to get another brush, so give me a minute. You guys can think about how Art Club now has its own exclusive video library. I've been doing video replies to people's questions, and somebody was asking me today, Manette, I think you're still here, Manette, was asking me about getting started with the website and how to do that. And so I just recorded like a 4-minute video for Manette, and that's something we are doing now in Art Club. Remember, you can do a 1-week free trial. The 1-week free trial also includes a 30-minute voice call one-on-one with me. It is hands down our best program. So many wonderful aspects. I've been working hard to really beef it up. So Art Club, I think it was always awesome, but it's getting more awesome. And it's also including live streams. So Tuesday live streams have now moved to Art Club, in case you guys missed that. Okay, we're going to see if we can bring this back. Okay, so you see here, I lost the dark. Now I'm going to put the dark back because I don't want to lose that value. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to go back in and soften this edge. And now I'm going to take my rag and we're going to just lighten this. And that way we get a softer edge. But does everybody see how that's a glaze? Because you can still see the green underneath. Okay, now I have to do the exact same thing with this one. Nice soft edge. And I'm trying to think, because I do like this light green. Maybe I should mix up some of that light green. Yeah, maybe I should add a little pop of green up there. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Let me just turn my camera down so you guys can see that spot. Yeah, see this little like bit of green, it's not bright enough. So I'm going to just go in. I'm just going to mix this with my brush. I'm going to mix a little bit of cadmium yellow into some of the cerulean blue. And we're going to pop in some nice bright green. Ooh, that's a really nice green. Does everyone see that? Okay. Bring back. I don't want too much because I want the lighting focused at the top. Do you guys like the zoom lens? Let me know if it helps you see better. I think it looks better, but I'm not always sure. So that's why you guys are very helpful. Okay, yeah, that helps me brighten up a couple spots. And then same thing. Well, maybe I should just, I'm going to clean a brush. I'm going to use this to sketch in the edges. Maybe I'll do a little bit with the rag too. But I already like how this is breaking things up a lot better. I noticed that Kathy Speranza has a lot of strokes that look like this. Like you can actually see the strokes in her painting. So I'm trying to give some of that a shot. And actually, it's looking very blue. So I'm going to just take some straight cadmium lemon and just push it around. So that way it's not looking too blue, because I felt like that was starting to happen. But again, it's all about color variation. Okay, same thing. I'm going to go in now with my rag. And I'm pushing the strokes in different directions. You can see some of it was up and down. Now I'm sort of going left. Okay, so here you can see I lost that highlight, and now I just need to put it back. A lot of back and forth here. And all the while, I'm really looking at the edges of these cherries. I'm going to get this blue highlight to blend a little bit better. But of course, now I lost the green. Oh, shoot. That's way too dark. Oh my God. Yeah, that's really bad. Okay, let's get rid of that. That looks terrible. Ugh, too blue. Let's get a little bit more. Ah, oh my God, this is like full of orange. That's really bad. Okay, again, the rag is your best friend. Can get rid of things really fast. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the edge of that cherry. But at least now I've got way more color variation. Like I didn't really have that before. And by the way, I'm not really looking at the reference. I'm just making up the colors right now. See, I lost it. I gotta come back. The highlight just disappeared again. But yeah, that's definitely better. I think before it was just too straightforward. I'm going to try to go right up against the edge of this cherry. So now you can see the value between this cherry and the background is very similar, because this one is not that dark compared to the other ones. Ooh, and actually, I like this little glow of yellow down here. This is cool. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let me take a photo for the Discord. And you guys can see better close up what that one area looks like. I'll also take a picture of my palette so you can all get a sense of the colors. All right, let's see what people are saying in the chat. You're welcome, Counselor Chip. You will get plenty of that from me. I can guarantee that. Whitney says, I think maybe the closest cherries to the viewer must have the sharpest edges. The ones further away should be blurry. Yes, that is basically the concept behind atmospheric perspective. And so I don't know if I'm really following it. I don't know. I guess right now I'm thinking more about the highlights and getting a range of colors because I didn't have that before. The edge thing, I think right now I'm doing more smudging and softness than I probably need, but I find it's easier to bring back sharp edges once I have an atmosphere of color really well established. And lovely to see you here, Whitney. Whitney has been chatting with me over in our Facebook group. So for those of you folks who are more comfortable on Facebook, that is another option for where you can interact with us. But again, Art Club, this is where you're going to get a lot of interaction with staff. This is where you get to speak to us on voice. And while it is really nice in our Discord and on the Facebook group to be able to type things to us, Art Club is where you really get to talk to us on voice. And I find that the learning is much, much faster if you are able to speak to us on voice. Reminder, everybody, we do have 2 workshops coming up. 5-Bit Portraits has 3 spots left. Drawing Bugs is also coming up as well. These are 2-week-long experiences. They are really fun in a small group. You get audio critiques, 3-hour live session, and I really get to spend time with you there. So take a look. It's really fun to have that experience, everybody. Okay, let's see what else people are saying. This is better than a product. Oh my God, I love it. You have the best comments. Hi, Jennifer. Lovely to have you here. Oh, good, Jen. I'm so glad. I will try to make sure that my child is not stealing all of my camera equipment. One of my kids said, I can't wait until I'm at college and nobody is going to touch my art supplies. I'm like, sorry. Sometimes you take my markers and I take them back. Neil is asking, do you think you're close to finishing this painting? Nope. Like, really, nope. Probably out of the 3 paintings I did for the painting marathon, this is the one that's the most behind. The tree one's almost done. Well, I don't know, the portrait's pretty behind as well. Yes, this is true, George, and I'm well aware. Museums are showing familiar names to get people in the door. Lesser-known artists might not bring in more casual viewers. That's absolutely a big part of that. And really, I feel for museums because they have never had an easy time financially. I mean, I look at the care and the expertise of the people who work at museums, and it's simply extraordinary. But gosh, the funds to keep up that kind of staffing and the quality and presentation of things, boy, is it expensive. So I understand there are many factors at play, but right now I'm just complaining a little bit. Randy says, speaking of movies, are you still into making movie posters? I'm not doing it right now. However, I was thinking about this the other day. Have you guys noticed that there's this category of artists? They are in one field, like say fine art, but then all of a sudden some magazine commissions them to do the cover, even though they're not an illustrator or something like that. For example, who is that artist? Typhus, is it Typhus Kafar? Somebody look it up, but I'm pretty sure that he did a cover for Time magazine, and he's a fine artist. He's somebody who's in museum shows and galleries and stuff like that, and yet Time magazine had him illustrate a cover. Like, I want to be one of those people. And yes, I know that's like the top tier art world, but hey, I can dream. So someday maybe I'll be like one of those fine artists who, oh, we're going to ask them to do this movie poster. I hope. You never know. I'm open for business, but I think the nature of the type of artist I am, I'm just never this the whole way through. Oh yeah, Anna, Kathy Bradford. I have been looking at some of her work. Kyle Staver, I feel like Lauren showed me that work. Laura Foote, I feel like I should know. But yeah, thanks for those suggestions. So we also have Whitney, who says, too many people everywhere, I get lost, starting off slowly, trying to ease into it. Very overwhelming for an overthinker like me. Okay, who's an overthinker? Me. I really have an issue with ruminating where I'll just run the same thing over and over again, especially if it's something that's stressing me out a little bit. I mean, I know it's like the worst thing to do. Like if something's bothering you, probably shouldn't ruminate about it, but I do that a lot. Tell me, who here is an overthinker? Because that is definitely me. Wait, what? Jennifer did a sketch of that time cover when I was stuck in a hospital for 3 days getting tests. Yeah, can somebody look it up? I think it's Titus Kafar, and it's a Time magazine cover. I feel like it's an image of a woman with kids. I can't remember. It's been a while. Cummerbund. Well, he has a new movie coming out. I'm very excited. It's called The Roses. And the reason I'm excited is because it's a romantic comedy. So he looks really cute in this movie. When he was playing, he was in that Netflix series. Anybody see it? It was called Eric. And he looks so frumpy and not attractive in that series. I was like, I mean, I'll watch it because he's in it, but he looks very cute in The Roses. So I'm very excited to see that. Okay, it looks like we have a lot of overthinkers in here. Yeah, this is absolutely true. Some of you guys may have been reading the news in the US, but the National Endowment for the Arts, a lot of these institutions are having mass layoffs and firings. And so the museums, I think, especially right now, they're in very tough circumstances. So I don't fault them for showing big artists to try to keep that going. But yeah, it's a difficult time right now in the US in terms of those programs being funded. Jen says, diagnosed with general anxiety, so overthinking comes with the territory. Salinas is a queen of overthinking. Well, this is interesting. Slepnir says, overthinker, but like to have a chance to develop from scratch. I'm the same way. I don't really like starting with something just for the sake of not having to start from scratch. Like I enjoy starting from scratch. Certainly starting from scratch takes forever and is way more work, but I guess it's just the way I function. Now for cooking, that's not always true. I'm not the person boiling my chickpeas like I'm getting the chickpeas out of a can, but then again, I'm not a professional chef, so it's probably a little bit different. Okay, let's get back into this. I think I'm going to try some, let me try some blending. I'm going to blend all the things I have right now and then come back into it. Okay, give me a second. I need to go in and fix my camera. And you guys can think about doing a 1-week free trial in Art Club where you can come chat with us, because I've been making some videos about how a lot of people basically have 3 problems when it comes to learning online. And the first one is people get stuck. They don't know what to do next in their piece. You don't have any artist peers or know any professional artists in real life. And also having to sift through overwhelming amounts of information. Very difficult. Okay, so for this, I'm actually going to use this brush. This is called a mop brush, and it's really, really soft. And I'm just going to take this, I'm going to have a rag handy, and I'm just going to blend. It's like makeup, I guess. I never wear makeup. Those of you who do use makeup, do you feel like some of that translates into painting? I can't imagine it doesn't. Okay, so what I'm doing with the mop brush is I'm making sure that it's being used in multiple directions. Gosh, I'm really losing all the darks here. I think I overdid it with some of these highlights. Yeah, that cherry got really bright all of a sudden. That's okay. I'll bring that down. Or actually, what I should do is I should just take my rag and get rid of some of that, because it definitely got like really... Oh, that was fun. You guys, did you see that? Look at that. Oh my God, that's really nice. Yeah, see, this is why the rag is your best friend. Oh, that was sweet. I really liked that moment. Yeah, so I might end up just removing a lot of the stuff, but I think the edges are better. Yeah, like a lot of people have told me that sometimes they learn color better in a different context. Like Lauren has told me how she felt like she learned a lot about color through fashion, just making outfits for herself to wear. And I just thought that was so brilliant. So this is making kind of a mess, but I'd rather have the mess than stick with the same few colors. Yeah, so like here, there's a highlight underneath that I brought back. So this is the stage where stuff starts to get like really blobby, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather have blobby with a diverse range of colors than not enough colors. So it's a matter of putting down the color, then smoothing it out a bit, blobbing it around, and then bringing things back. Like, for example, here I really lost the dark, and so now I'm bringing it back. Again, with a nice soft edge, and now I have the value back. So that's the thing, is sometimes you're okay getting rid of things because you know that you have another plan in place for what you want to do later on. At the very least, I hope they just look more plump. I just like things to be plump, you guys. Like, that's just my thing. I like plump things. I like plump cats. I like plump guinea pigs. By the way, tell me in the comments, how many of you guys here have done paintings of fruit? Because I know sometimes people think that fruit is sort of boring, and a lot of people I know don't really enjoy doing still life pieces. But let me tell you, still life, this is where I learned how to paint. Still life, I found, made my life so much easier. And I really feel like I learned how to oil paint because of fruit. Oh, I lost this highlight. I think I got to bring this highlight back. So there's, actually, I need to pull up move my camera. You guys can see that part a little better. Because you know something, when I was learning oil painting, I was so overwhelmed that for me, it was such a relief to not paint something complicated. And the other nice thing is because it's fruit, I was able to paint from life. And that was especially helpful to be able to do that. Okay, let's bring back some of this pink. It sort of disappeared. Oh, I still feel like that highlight is not great though. Maybe I need this much brighter pink. Like, oh yeah, oh that's better. Good, good, good. Oh, I like that. Okay, awesome. Okay, and now comes in my mop brush. Get that back. I don't know. I feel like I'm being very picky right now, but I don't think this is a painting I want to be like gestural with. That's for another day. I feel like that's more the male portrait painting that I did, but this one not so much. Because I painted so much fruit when I was in art school, but I love the simplicity of it. It really, really helped me. Okay, let's bring back some highlights because, again, those totally disappeared. And there is this one that's like really big at the top. Oh, this just feels really messy. Ugh. So annoying. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't try to do the highlights right now. I guess I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it for where I did it on the other side, because I also did something similar. And I think this is just like it needs another layer to really sink into the image. I don't like that. That looks kind of harsh. Ugh. I think it needs like way more softening. I don't know. This stage is sort of finicky. See, I keep putting things down and losing them. I think that is very common for painting. But I do know there are some circumstances where it's like, yep, I just got to repaint that thing like 3 times. Okay, I'm spending way too much time on that one, so let's move on over here. And this one, because it's small, I'm not going to use a brush to smudge. I'm going to just use the rag. Push some of those highlights around. Oh yeah, the rag is good enough. We're just going to smear everything. Okay, this is getting very blue. Okay, I don't like that. Let's change it. But I'm going to let the bottom dissolve. Ooh. We're going to bring back some alizarin crimson in the middle. Get back some of the darkness. Yeah, that's much better. I think it turned everything gray at first, but this is definitely going to help. I also want to soften this edge too. Because actually, there aren't that many highlights here. But I think maybe I need more separation between this front cherry and the back cherry. So this edge is going to be sharper. And I'll take in some of this green so I can define that edge a little better between the two. Yeah, because I guess what I really want today is I just want more three-dimensionality. I just felt like these looked really, really flat last time. Jeez, this chart looks really blue. I'm going to add a little bit more orange in this one, especially towards this bottom area. Too bright, but I'll smush it in. Actually, I think a mop brush would be good. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, I love this mop brush. Have people used a mop brush before? Because I just discovered them during the painting marathon. Okay, this I'm just smearing in. Because this cherry in the back, like I barely want it even visible. All right, let's take a look and see what people are doing in the Discord. All right. Oh, I should take a photo as well before I get too far along. And I'll do some close-ups too. So if anybody wants to get better photos of the work, best thing to do is to go into the Discord, because the live stream will not have as good quality of the image. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these in. Okay, well, Randy's lazy attempt drawing what's right in front of me. That's a great prompt. I love that prompt. I think I got that from James Gurney. Draw what's in front of you. So all of you guys can see a little better here. This is that one edge that I really worked on, and you can still see the green underneath. So this is like a purple maroon glaze that goes on top. And Selena's first one I'm not pleased with. You're still working on it. By the way, you guys, look at this. Selena's got some gouache on the nail and then ended up putting clear coat on it. Isn't that just brilliant? I'm not somebody who does nails, but I just thought that was so funny. Okay, so Zelda is here in the Discord new. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm just going to type back. Great to have you here. Yay. Love seeing your cat. What a beautiful pattern. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's like luxury fur cat. And we have Jen, who is doing, oh, this is the Amy Sherald painting. Oh, how fun. You're doing a study. Oh, here it is. Oh, fantastic. Does everybody see this? Hang on. Let me make this bigger. So this is the Amy Sherald painting. It's on the cover of the New Yorker. And then this is the drawing. Oh, that's brilliant. I love that you did that, Jen. And this is Dave. Drapery studies I did earlier of my roommate's towel. See, I just love that such a mundane image that you made a drawing of it. That to me is very meaningful. I love that you did that, Dave. Slept near dog collie. Oh my God, he's got the same like dotty pattern that Buddy has. Oh my God, he looks a lot like Buddy. Oh, they would be good friends. Oh, Kahlo. So sweet. This is Anna's dog. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys are just killing me. All these dog photos. Jen got a new chair, so Matzo sleeps next to me in my old one now. This is just great, you guys. Oh, Counselor Chip, Sculptural Musings. How fun. Yeah, you know, sculpture can be a lot more accessible than a lot of us think of it as, because sometimes people feel like it has to be some, oh, we have to get all this clay and all these tools. No, you can just have a hunk of clay and just play with it with your fingers. We did a workshop on mini sculptures, and people had a great time just working with several forms. I had a bunch of people, they just made like 4 tiny sculptures. This is a great way to just, quote, doodle within a 3D point of view. June says, photo I'll be coloring, sharing with my sisters. I'm the one in the center. We are all in our 60s now. Oh, that's so sweet, June. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Thank you for sharing that, June. All right, well, so great to see everybody's stuff. Oh, I see. Oh, whoa, I missed a whole bunch of posts. Sorry, everybody. Yes, these are the gouache nails that Selena's came up with. We were talking about that in art club. I just think that's so great. And then this is, oh, been drawing cherries along with the stream, still trying to learn Neocolor. They're great fun. Oh, you're getting some excellent color. I can see you're putting a lot of pressure on the drawing, and that's very important for Neocolors. Great start there. Okay, so Nova Light is new. Wanted to share my art. Here's some recent pieces. I'm just going to type here before I forget. Welcome, Nova. And we'll take a quick glance. We have, looks like some digital images, lots of characters. Oh, I love her outfit. There's some really nice line work, Nova. I love these stories. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, Nova. And we also have Petra, $2 thrift store pochade box. Did I say that right? I don't know if I did. Anyway, that's super cute. And Zelda, looks like you are working on a sea ski scene. Wonderful start. You did a lot of work really getting into all those individual rocks. Wait, you have a pet pig? Wait, what? How did I miss that this was, I mean, Allie McSqueal. Okay, that is so crazy cute. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Okay, so Zelda says what I'm currently working on. Okay, so this is an oil painting. Fantastic. Okay, let's see what people are saying in the chat. And remember, if you guys have a question, you can type question in all caps in the chat. It'll make it a lot easier for me to find your question. And if I miss it, you can always just repost it. Whitney says, it'd be interesting to know, if you work from a photo, how often do you look at the photo during the painting? Can you get to a point where you don't look at the photo anymore and just visualize it? Oh, yeah. For me, usually in the beginning, I'm like glued to the reference photo. But usually the more and more I work on it, the less and less I'm looking at it. Right now, I'm looking for the placement of the highlights. So I am looking at it quite a bit, but I'm not looking at it a lot in terms of accurate color. Shorty Angel says, does the mop brush function similarly to the rag when used like that? Sort of. It doesn't remove as much paint as the rag does. And it's also softer. The rag is a little bit less refined. So the mop brush is when you want it like really soft. The rag will do it, but not quite as soft as the mop brush. We also have, Neil says, is the light source here supposed to be coming from the top? I'm still bad at figuring out light sources. it's coming from everywhere. Like, I'm really not keeping track, Neil, because it's 3 photos that I put together. These are the 3 photos, and you can see all of them have a very different lighting situation. So yes, I'm just making it up at this point. We also have I saw something about cherries. Okay, we also have people talking about fruit. Okay, Katz is asking, does a banana count? Yes, I believe that does count. Sorry, I'm still laughing about Ally McSqueal. Okay, let's get back into it, everybody. All right. All right, we're just going to go full out mop brush. So hang on a sec. I think I need to zoom out a little more. Yeah, that's better. Oh. Okay, I think I'm painting too slow. I think I'm going to speed it up somewhat. We're just going to go all in on the mop brush. Yeah, like I never thought about keeping my strokes that visible with the mop brush, but I looked at Kathy Speranza's and she does that a lot. So I'm trying to do something somewhat similar. Yeah, Neil, the lighting is like not like there's light from everywhere. I'm sort of exaggerating it and not trying very hard to make it clear cut what's happening. But in here, I do want to do, oh shoot, I ended up with a lot of red on it. I just want to go back in and bring back some of the green because I want, oh my God, why is there all this red on this stupid brush? Shoot. I guess I really should wash them. I try really hard not to be cleaning my brushes so much. Like I'd actually rather have just more brushes because it's just easier. Oh, well, here's why. I have the red all over my hand. Shoot, I really should just go back to wearing gloves. This is kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, yeah, it's this edge I was thinking about. You want to hear a good spouse story? So I had this drawing. It was from a live stream. It's where I was drawing pigs with Caran d'Ache crayons. Deep D was animating a pig, so I was drawing a pig on a live stream. And I drew it on a piece of just raw wood panel. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I should use this for my fumage piece. And so I was thinking, okay, well, how do I do that safely? Because I was thinking I don't want to just burn it with a candle because the thing's kind of big. I didn't really want to go that way. And I was like, oh, do I need to like, should I get lighter fluid and stick it on top? And so I'm like asking my spouse this. But the thing is, I hadn't prefaced any of it with the fumage stuff. And he's like, what? Like, what do you want to do? He was like super confused. Okay, I feel better about the lighting. I think it's starting to come along. Let's put, I guess I need some of that alizarin crimson back. Yeah, this will help. Because actually most of this cherry is pretty dark. Oh yeah, they're starting to get plumper. Do you think they're plumper? I hope they are, because that's what I want to do. Oh shoot, I gotta change the camera settings. Sorry, everybody. These streams are anything but smooth. It's just the light keeps changing in my room because it's getting darker. All right, and I definitely need to bring back some green that's around some of those spots. Because really, you can't paint the cherry entirely by itself. You have to look at what's around it as well. You see, I don't really know what's going on up there. But whatever, I'll do that next time. Okay, so now let's go in with a rag. Soften some of those edges. Mop brush. And there's one highlight here that's very bright that I think I gotta really let it sit. Oh, that's good. Oh, yay, I'm happy, you guys. Good, good, good. Oh, it's starting to feel better. Although, I messed up that edge. I'm gonna bring that back. Okay, I think I feel better about those edges. I think they're not as sharp as they were before. If anything, I want them to be too smooth. I think the sharpness really is something I don't want. So if anything, it's just to make sure I don't have harsh edges. I'm being a little picky right now, but I don't know. This painting is still, I think it's not that far along. And I know it seems like it should be farther along because I've spent so much time on it. But this is probably why I'm not an oil painter. It's just, it's so time consuming for me to get the results I want. It's just, you're constantly taking away and putting things back. It's just the nature of the process, which is fine. By the way, tell me in the comments, how many people here have an idea that you're thinking about, that you're not doing right now, but that maybe you've always wanted to do it, but maybe you never had the time or something? I would love to hear about those projects. Because my spouse was saying to me today that he wants to start doing some outdoor sculptures. He's the one who welded me a brand new stand for my skeleton. And he's very handy with all those tools. So I really hope he does it. My kids really like it when he makes things. So I hope he does it. And he was talking to me about casting in concrete. And actually, when we lived in Massachusetts, we had made these plaster gravestones that we used to stick in the ground during Halloween. I think we gave them away when we moved, but he's always made really fun stuff like that. He's also made incredible Halloween costumes for my kids. Well, they're his kids too, but because I love the idea of doing that. Like, that's something I will never do because I don't know, like all that big welding machine stuff kind of freaks me out. Okay, we're gonna blend in some of this. It's getting really muddy. Ew. All right, we got to bring back the alizarin crimson. I totally lost the richness. It got very brown, which is bad. Okay, that's better. I don't know. I feel like I keep losing the alizarin crimson. Like, I don't usually use a color so straight, but this really needs the straight alizarin crimson so I get the full saturation. I feel like these two look like plums. The shape really does not look like a cherry. I guess a project I've always wanted to do is some type of installation that involves light. I know that sounds really vague, but I just love light. I think light is so beautiful. And I've always wanted to do something with transparency and light. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like wannabe Olafur Eliasson. If you guys don't know who he is, he did something at the Tate that I really liked. It was called like Sunset or something. You guys can look it up. Look up Olafur Eliasson Tate. So the Tate is a museum in London. And it seemed like the type of thing that you like really needed to be there to understand, but the photos of it looked really cool. Okay, I added a little bit of ultramarine blue up here at the top. I don't know, I don't like that edge. That edge is really bothering me. I think I got to bring back more of this pink. This. I think I lost how concrete that edge was. Okay, so let's bring back some of that highlight that I had earlier, just like a pink highlight on the side. And I'm going to put some cerulean blue into that highlight. Okay, because I think what I'm missing is, yeah, that's better. Okay, much happier with that. I'm going to do a little bit of rag work here. Ah, no, got rid of the pink. Gotta put it back. I guess the theme of today's stream is take it away and put it back like 8 times. Ugh, it's getting really muddy, you guys. Oh, totally lost that edge. Bring back some green over here. And we're also gonna bring back some of this bright, like muddy green that was back there. Oh, why is this one is really bothering me? I feel like I did the one on the top pretty fast, but this one keeps like changing its contour. And yet I also don't want such a harsh edge. Okay, that's better. Keep those ideas coming, everybody. And sometimes I like to just daydream about ideas, if that makes any sense. Because we're never going to be able to do all the things that we want to do, but I can still dream. I don't know. And I guess also someday, I don't think I ever really will because it's just so expensive, but making something like really monumental, like that's got to be kind of like a power trip, I think. It's like sometimes I go to these museums and I see these huge things that people make, and I'm like, how do people even have the bandwidth to make stuff like this? It's like, I don't know if people saw the studio visit that I did with Norman Mooney at Powerhouse Arts in Brooklyn, but I was saying to him that like I don't even know how to conceive of the things that he makes, because you have to have such knowledge about the materials and what they can do, which he has. But then again, there's lots of artists who make things that they don't have. Okay, maybe they don't know how to cast in bronze, but they make a piece that's cast in bronze. And I've always wanted to try something like that. Okay, this edge is kind of bothering me a lot. It just got really muddy up here. I think I have to bring back some of those highlights. Highlights kind of disappeared on me. Bring back my mop brush. I said today that I wasn't going to make such a mess on my table, but of course that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Now I can't find my mop brush. Like, where can it go? I just have this tiny tray table. How could I lose my mop brush? Like, where is it? What the heck? It's not here. Okay. Whatever. We'll do something else. Okay, let's take a break. Take a look at what people are talking about. So a question here from Counselor Chip. I wonder how they finance large projects, benefactors. It's got to be something like that. Sometimes people will do things on commission, in which case they'll be given a budget. I was actually looking at a couple of public art things where you can apply to get them. And usually something like that, they have some budget, which includes your labor and also the fabrication. So you might see a call for proposals for a public art piece that, let's say they want it to be a 50-foot tall painting. And you can look at the budget and go, wow, that's a big budget. Actually, it's not, because if you think about the fabrication of it, it can get very expensive. Katz says, whatever I make has to fit on my table. At least I'm not sitting on the floor anymore, but my table is slowly becoming a painting in its own way as I keep making messes. You know what? Messes are good. I have a clean floor today, but you know what? It also means that I didn't do much work this week. It was really horrible, though. Like, I was like, I can't live like this anymore. Selena says, I don't know that I'd want to make monumental things. I fell in love with people interacting with my work in college. Monumental scale doesn't lend well to that, at least not at the moment. Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some pieces, they're so beautiful and intimate because they're small. And I don't think working big is something I want to do. Like, there are artists who that is their thing. Like Klaus Oldenburg created huge public sculptures. And he's known for that. I mean, he did stuff that was in a gallery as well, but his most famous pieces are very, very large. Anna says, I also have a lot of painting and installation projects going on. Installation, I love seeing other people's installations, but I don't know, it's never been something that I felt I wanted to do, but who knows, maybe someday I'll change my mind. And Whimsy Squirrel says, I have so many ideas that I don't have the space or the skills to paint them all just yet. So I'm taking baby steps and I'm learning to paint by painting small. Yeah, I think when you're learning something, that's not the time to get super ambitious about these big things. And I think for a lot of people, we do want to feel like we have, okay, a pretty good, solid foundation of skill in order to make that possible. O is asking, when you say light, is it like colored glass pane that creates images? Not so much. I think it would be something like light shining through a drawing on a transparent surface, sort of like if I was a wannabe William Kentridge, because he's done quite a bit of work like that. Okay, so Jeanette says, I'm color deficient, see in color, but the colors are different than what others would perceive. Mine is tritanopia. Oh, I never heard of that before. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, Jeanette? Because I'm not familiar with that. Does anyone have advice or resources for people like me? Well, you know something, we were in open studios this week in Art Club, and I remember somebody had a drawing of a mountain. And me and Lauren said to Marie, who was the artist, we said, well, we really feel like the mountain looks very green and probably you should make it more blue. But Marie said to us, you know, it really doesn't look that green to me. And then Ariel came on and said, well, actually, that's the case for me too. So that's the thing, is that everybody has their own perception of color. I don't know specifically about your situation, but I think it's okay to have a different perception. I think the important thing is that your use of color aligns with what it is you want to do. Like, for example, if you want to make colors that are like super vibrant and lush, but we look at the painting and we say, well, actually, I think it looks a little bit too muddy, then that would be us trying to figure out a way to help you make colors that were more vibrant. Also, just quick note for everybody, I did put somebody in timeout because they wrote everything in all caps. So Jeanette, I'm going to leave this. It's fine because you're asking a question, but there was one that was written in all caps, and that does, for most people, come across as you screaming aggressively. So people know that's why. Jeanette, I left yours because yours is clearly a question. We also have Randy, who says, but ideas die with you, so you have to act as soon as possible, get them out and show the world. Sometimes, but it's not always the case. I've had projects where I didn't have time in the moment to pursue that idea and then come back to it a couple of years later. That's happened many times. We also have O, who says, honestly, really affirming to hear an artist as good as you also express doubt about what to do next when painting. Oh God, we all do. Like, it doesn't matter if you are a very accomplished artist. I haven't gotten to chat with Rembrandt, but I'm sort of guessing that he got in situations like that too. And to me, that's just the nature of the creative process. It's just nobody really knows. We also have Randy. I understand you play little to no video games. Yes, my family hates me. Is there any that caught your attention from frequent exposure? Well, this is not really a good answer, but I really liked The Last of Us, the HBO show, because Pedro Pascal. he's not Benedict Cumberbatch, but I really like Pedro Pascal. Who likes him? Don't tell me anything about season 2. Okay, I watched season 1, waiting for my kids to catch up so we can watch season 2. But anyway, that was the one that I really liked. Whitney's asking, not sure if this is a thing, but do you ever just freak out and do random stuff that makes no sense just to do something and it looks terrible, but we're in the process? Yes. I think we've all done things like that. We're like, what are we doing? Okay, whatever. Randy's asking about BMW art cars. If BMW gave you an opportunity, would you paint one of their cars? Maybe if they gave me cars, I could sell them, maybe. But in terms of like art opportunity, I don't think I'm that interested in that. Okay, let's do some more, everybody. Oh dear, this really, oh, that one really looks bad. I gotta work on that. I think it needs some of that pink back. Yeah, I've totally lost this pink. I don't like this one. I think it's this edge that's really bothering me. So maybe if I bring this edge back so it's better defined. I don't know. It's also the shape, though. The shape of that one's bothering me. I feel like it got too long. Yeah, I don't like that. What do I do with that? I guess I should just add a highlight. That's probably the contrast that I need there. Just like a nice, simple highlight. Yeah, that's it. I don't know, like the highlights are all really strangely shaped. Like the reflective quality of the cherries is unusual. It's not your typical thing. And I think I haven't done a great job of keeping the highlights to having that sort of randomness in very. Oh, there, you know where my mop brush was? It was in my lap. That's really dumb. I guess that's where I need to look. Like, I really was like baffled. That's better. Oh, okay. All right. It's much better. Just have to be patient. And that helps too. Okay. We're getting there. Oh, let me tell you, painting will test your patience. How many people here do you think, well, not do you think, are you guys, who here is a patient artist or person or both, and who here has no patience at all? I think I'm in the boat of no patience at all, which is so bad. It's not good, because the whole thing about growth, especially with online communities, is very slow. You have to work very hard to get what sometimes feels like not very much in terms of results. But I've had many situations where something took a while to figure out, but then you figure it out and you're like, oh yeah, that was totally worth it. Like, for example, I had somebody who really wanted to do one of the workshops, but they were very intimidated by Discord. And so I went through everything with them. I held their hand through the entire process. I sent them screenshots and stuff. And now they told me they love Discord for the workshops. And once you've done one workshop, the rest of them are so much easier once you get to know the ropes. So we have had a lot of people, they'll sign up for multiple workshops now because they feel very comfortable in the Discord. And so that's why I want to assure all of you who are maybe a little bit on the fence about joining Discord that it can be really, really great what you can experience in there. So remember, we will hold your hand. And it's not just me. We have moderators in there who are wonderful and helpful and kind. And they will help you with anything you're looking for. Oh, man, I feel like I'm just painting over the same thing over and over again, which is to be expected. I guess it's just I'm doing very delicate work right now. Okay, I feel much better about this one. I think this one is having a little bit of a crisis. But we got to bring back some of the blue highlights. All right, so this one is going to be quite bright. And I'm also going to bring back, there's like a couple like little dots. I think I made them too big, but whatever. Okay. Woo. See, I keep putting these in, and then I think I'm putting in highlights, and then I blob them out, and that's not great. But hopefully, this is what I want. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Let's get some more alizarin crimson. Again, so the highlights don't pop too much. Ugh, so picky. All right, I gotta add some ultramarine because I lost the, shoot. I did not want a highlight there, but you know, it looks okay. Let's just leave it. By the way, we did a discussion in art club the other day, and the question was, what do I do next? So I'd love for you guys to tell me, when you finish a project, how do you decide what you want to do next? Like, do you have a ridiculous pile of unfinished projects that you want to get to, or is it more you work sequentially so it's pretty clear what you want to do next? Because you know how I figure out what I want to do next? I'm like, I feel like doing that. That's about as sophisticated as it gets for me. Oh, this highlight's getting too big. I didn't want it so big. I don't know why I'm being so finicky about these highlights. I gotta bring back this cherry because this one got like really light. I don't know, I guess because I'm like trying to fix up edges, but then I also want highlights, and it's just a little bit confusing. Of course, now it's not round enough, so I gotta bring back the highlight. Ugh. Okay. I don't know why this highlight is bothering me so much. And by the way, everybody, I really am like drawing with the paint right now. I'm not really doing a great job of being painterly. In fact, I'm really not being painterly. Okay, we're going to move over to the other cherry, which is over here, and we're going to zoom so you guys can see that better. So I'm not really a patient person. In fact, I really hate it when things take forever. But, well, I'll tell you, what's really tested my patience is Art Prof has really, really tested me in a way that I've never been tested. You just have to have so much faith in what you're doing. And I find that very, very hard sometimes. I think it was much harder in the beginning, I mean, for obvious reasons, but I mean, we had a very long time where people were really sort of laughing at us because nobody taught online. That was so weird. And I think, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, people are no longer seeing teaching online as some strange thing that only weirdos do. And I hate to say it, but we really did benefit from the pandemic because all of a sudden people started to have interest and started to understand the potential of teaching online. So the thing is, you're starting out, you're doing something that people don't really have a lot of respect for. That was the hardest thing. And I feel like now I have plenty of things I worry about, but that is not one I worry about anymore. And that is a huge relief. And it depends on the audience you're trying to reach. I mean, there's some places like probably academia where it will never quite have the respect that I would like it to have. But I don't care. I have you guys. You guys make everything better. And when people tell me how much our content has helped them learn something that they wouldn't have otherwise learned, I love that. I think it's just the most amazing thing. So I may not be winning any MacArthur grants ever. But actually, you know what, you guys? I really do want to apply for a Guggenheim next time it comes up. The application is in September. And tell me in the comments how many people here have heard of the Guggenheim grant. It's a really hard application, though. That's the thing, is the application is so much work. I can't remember, but I feel like the last time I looked at a Guggenheim thing, the artist statement was like 4 pages. It was like a really long artist statement. But if I really get into these Fumage pieces, I really think I could do it. Not win, but like I really think I could pull off the application. Because I know in previous years I didn't apply because I was like, I don't think I have robust enough of a project, and I know this wouldn't get accepted because, what's interesting is I was talking to Song Kang, who visited me recently in Utah, and she's been doing a lot of residencies, which is wonderful. She was doing one at the Denver Botanical Garden residency, and she told me she felt very frustrated that a lot of the grants seemed to prefer a certain type of artist, but they would never actually say what kind of artist. And so I guess she was looking at a lot where after you look at the candidates, you realize, oh, they really don't want young artists. They really want people who are in very mature parts of their career. I would say I have hit the mature part of being an artist. I can start applying to those you have to be 40 or older artist grants. So yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Sometimes I get very lazy with the grants. I'm like, oh, it's so much work. to fill everything out. I mean, some grants are so easy. I think it was the Massachusetts Cultural Council grant was like no work. It was like 10 slides and like a statement, which most of us who apply to grants have sort of ready to go. And I remember thinking, God, that was way too easy. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's nice when you get a grant application that isn't like 5 hours of work, sometimes more than that. But I might. I don't know. On the other hand, I was like, last week, I was like, oh, I should apply to the Paula Krasner grant. That one actually has a rolling deadline, which is very handy. But again, got busy and just didn't end up doing it. But I will. It's on my calendar to do at some point. That's definitely one I've always, well, no, that's not true. I did apply for it long, long time ago. Didn't get it. This one's a little weird. This is very orange. I'm just doing a pass around the edges. And actually, it's got a lot of red here. I feel like I lost that red entirely. Let's bring that back. This one's feeling better to me, though. But it definitely lost its red along the way. And yes, I did get the results from the Utah grant, but you guys are going to have to wait because I got to make a video about it. Because I'm happy to go through that process with you and have you guys watch me not get it. But you don't know. I haven't told anyone yet. Okay, I'm going to do a little more smudging on this. I'm going to smudge this one as well. And hopefully these have a little bit more light to them. They just were like really flat before. Ugh, I think I need to go back in with the rag because this one had some like nice, yeah, that's better. This one had some nice dark reds that I sort of got rid of. That's better. Ugh, everything looks so fuzzy. That's okay. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was in here to make things fuzzy. That's why next time I'll come back and I'll do more so it's not so fuzzy. Ugh, it got really messy. Oh, shoot. I think just a little more, maybe like here, I feel like the edge could be better. If I brighten some of this green back there, it might help a little. Ugh, the edges are really hard. Now I feel like I lost that highlight to bring it back. Oh, God, this edge. Come on. It's like really muddy. Now I lost all the green. The green. See, this got like really brown, and now it's blue. So let's get some cadmium. it got really brown. That's bad. I don't want that. Okay, we're gonna redo that highlight. This highlight, it keeps like going away. Okay, another wipe with the rag. All right, let me get a photo in here so you guys can see what's happening up close. And remember, everybody, you can see this in the Discord. Okay, let me get a picture of the whole thing. And I'll also glamour shot of my palette, everybody. Okay, we're going to put that into the Discord. In the Art Alongs channel. God, it's like every time I do a stream on this piece, I feel like I didn't do anything. I mean, granted, I am chatting and stuff like that, but oh, so slow. Okay, let's take a look at the Discord, see what people are posting in there. Jen posted this lovely portrait. Oh, I love the scene with these like beautiful, maybe oranges. And look at the super blobby paint. Oh, nice job, Jen. Working on it for a friend. Okay, yeah, so here you guys can see a lot better what the brushwork looks like. I know it looks super smooth, but you can see where there are strokes of the mop brush that are going in different directions. Okay, update from O, wonderful work, getting the volume of all of those fruits. And Salinas, here are some installations from college. I just didn't have the time to get them as polished as I like. Oh, I've never seen your installation work before, Salinas. Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, I've seen a lot of your work from Art Club, but I haven't seen these before. Thank you so much for sharing. Nova Light, project I did in class. Oh, I've always wanted to do a deep dive on topography. Never have had the chance, though. Okay, we just got to look at Ally McSqueal again. Look at how plump. That stomach is so soft. It's just the greatest thing. Okay. Yes, it's okay. You can distract me. I'm here to be distracted. Kat says, not a grant, but I am patiently waiting to hear back from a contest I entered. Well, tell us in the comments, how many of you guys have entered your work into a competition? Because that is very different than a grant. It's different than an exhibition. And certainly there's a million different types of competitions out there. And I guess you could say a grant is, in a sense, a competition. But I'd love to hear about what kind of competition you guys have entered. Andrew says you get denied by 100% of the grant you don't apply for. Definitely worth trying. Exactly. You have to put yourself in that position. I waited 20 years to get that Massachusetts Cultural Council grant. You know, these people, they win a grant like a year out of art school. I'm like, that was not me. Annie says, I find it very difficult to know that a piece is finished. However, I feel confident in my ability to know when it's time to move on. Yeah, it's very different types of things, because the moving on, sometimes something's not finished, but you feel like you want to move on. Other times it's just finished, and then maybe you want to do something completely different. Okay, good. I have a push from Slate to apply for a Guggenheim lecture at my public school. Just won one. It's not just people at the Ivies. Yes. I just had to make sure I have the right work, because the illustration work, not really what you would win a Guggenheim for, but I think if I really get going on my fumage work, I think it would be appropriate for a Guggenheim. It's all about fit. Certain pieces, like there are some grant applications, they'll say, okay, we only fund these things, we don't fund this. And so you just got to read the fine print. Jeanette says, what is the longest you've left a painting before coming back to it? Mine was 1.5 years on an oil painting I felt I didn't have the skills to complete after the background was done. Oh, mine's got to be at least a year. Probably more than that. Not 5 years or anything like that. Although those shrouded portraits I did, I thought I finished them in 2012, but I revived them just recently. So I don't know if that counts as coming back to it because it's not really the same thing. But yeah, some pieces just want to hang out for a long time before they do something. Zen Corey says, I'm so glad you're doing this online teaching, taking my first workshop with you this month. Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited to do that. It's a birthday present to myself for my 56th. Thanks so much. Well, I'm really happy that we're going to be able to hang out there. Avant-garde. And yes, Sletmir, I agree. The weirder, the better. Brings a perspective to the world. I was always the kid in school. If everybody was doing something, whatever that was, I didn't want to be doing it. Vanna says, that's kind of cool, though, Anna, so you can rotate and choose to work on what you feel most comfortable with at the time. Oh, this is Anna's earlier comment. So many projects, I can't even imagine taking on a new one. Everything I'm doing is ridiculously long term. Vanna says, should make an effort to get started on Discord. Didn't have the courage so far, but I'm on the Art Prof server on there, just never online. Well, I hope you'll say hello to us. The best place to do that is in introductions if you're joining for the first time, but if you are not joining the first time, we always want to hear from you. Say hello. I usually post something in the mornings in general chat just to say hello to everybody. I have not watched Tubi. Again, too much, overwhelming amounts of channels. So Magnifique says, thank you for everything you're doing through Art Prof and honestly just being a wonderful human. Sending love from Montreal, Canada. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're joining us here. My kids don't think I'm a wonderful human, but that's okay. I'm like, I don't have any ego. You guys destroyed it. That's fine. Rainbow Unicorn, thanks for sharing your process. Okay, we got a lot of people with no patient. Oh, wait, but Salinas is incredibly patient as a person. Kat says, I like to think I'm pretty patient. Yeah, I just, I mean, I'll do it if I have to, but I don't like it. Like, my husband's always like, when I ask him to do something, he's like, do you want me to do it now or later? I'm like, of course, right now. Of course, he never wants to do it right now. I know, it's really demanding. Counselor Chip says, contrarian or oppositional defiant disorder. Oh, Salinas, your son is saying hi. Excited to be on screen. He's enjoying the stream, first time catching it. Well, we all need to say hello to Salinas' son because we got to drag him in to Art Prof. Jennifer says, I just sent a 3-painting series in to get into a show, hopefully. Had my school art show yesterday for the first time, had a panic attack. How do you deal with judgment nerves? Oh, it's so hard. I don't think there's anybody here who does not stress about that because you're putting yourself out there. But the thing I can tell you is that once you've put it out there, it gets easier. The more you do it, it's less and less stressful. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. And now that you've put it out there, I think that's great. I'm really proud that you did that, even though it was stressful for you. Nancy says, do art dares count? Yes, they do. I mean, I don't like to think about the art dares as like a competition. It's more an opportunity for us to try new things and learn together. And certainly we do give prizes and stuff like that. One of which is to get 2 months free in Art Club, which is a pretty good deal. Although if you don't win an Art Dare. Another thing you can do is a 1-week free trial, because we just added all these new things to Art Club. These video replies, the Tuesday live streams are an Art Club, so there's a lot of fun stuff. I am the most proud of this program. We've worked really hard to develop it, and we've just really created a lovely learning space. I mean, I'm biased, but some of you guys at Art Club, hopefully you do agree with that. And we also have, oh, this is important. I'm glad you brought this up, Anna. So many competitions are scams. Beware of anyone asking for your money for, quote, exposure. Yes. So if there's ever a gallery that wants you to pay $1,000 to show at their gallery, don't do it. That's a scam. It's called a vanity gallery. No legit gallery would ever ask you to pay money to show there. Yes, weird. Absolutely. I think that is an excellent thing. Remember, everybody, we do have 2 workshops coming up this month. Vibrant Portraits has 3 spots left. Drawing Bugs also has spots available. These are 2-week-long experiences to get audio critiques from me, work in a small group. We get a lot of progress done in a short period of time. But remember, you don't have to do a workshop to hang out with us. Art Club is the best place to hang out with us. You get a lot of time chatting with Voice on Staff, audio critiques. It's a really nice group of people. Everybody's very supportive of each other. So take a look, and remember, you can do a free 1-week trial. So that's oftentimes a good way to get started. And for those of you, if you are not able to be in Art Club, hang out in our Discord, which is free. You can chat with us, share your work, ask questions. This is a great place to hang out. I know a lot of people struggle with finding other artists to talk to. This is it, you guys. It's heavily moderated. We work very hard to make sure people are safe and included. Link is in the description to join. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.